Welcome back to the Women's Spirit Retreat, where you are unfolding the journey of your heart and your soul's calling. My name's Elizabeth Ocean. I am your host in case you are just joining us. And I am so honored to be able to facilitate this incredible event. So much is happening here behind the scenes, and you are getting ready to know that your life matters. So let's bring our next speaker, Niobe Weaver, up to this virtual stage alongside me here. Hi, Niobe. How are you?
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm wonderful. This day has just been so powerful, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. I'm honored to have you. And I'm glad that you've been here enjoying it behind the scenes. It feels really, really nice to have you. So everybody, this is Niobe Weaver. Let me introduce her and then we'll hand the stage over to her for her soul talk. This talk is Your Life Matters. And Niobe Weaver is a gifted sound healer and teacher. She empowers women and men to claim the power of their voice to heal, grow, and own their light, to know that they make a difference to their world every day just by being who they are. Enjoy Your Life Matters with Niobe Weaver.
Thank you. Oh, hello, everyone. So you're up to this point. How are you doing today? We've had some amazing healers and teachers here, and you are here because there's something inside you saying, what's more? Something is knocking on your soul. It's tapping in your spirit and it said, there's something more. There's something about me and something to change my life. And so what I want to ask you is, do you feel, know, and believe that you're an amazing light and that you being here just the way you are makes a difference to the world, to your world around you, your work, your family, but also just your vibration in existence makes a difference? And what happens when somebody looks at you and goes, you are such a light. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad to have met you. You're just such a light. Do you accept that? Do you bring it in and allow that gift of compliment from their heart to come into your whole being, all of your cells and your energy, and ground it into a knowing of yes and thank you? Or do you deflect it? Mostly we're taught to deflect it, especially women. We're taught to be polite. We're supposed to be nice, be a nice girl. And oh, what about your voice? Oh my goodness, who is this woman? This speaking up. There's all kinds of names that go around that we're called if we're speaking up, isn't there? So how do you work with this, work through this? How do we live and then grow and then find our voice? How do we even find our soul light? How do you get into that place? Well, I help women, and as Elizabeth said, I'm also helping men discover that soul light, that essence that is yours in action with the power of your voice. No one else on the planet sounds exactly like you. Well, somebody says, well, I sound a little like my mom, but you're not your mother or you're not your sisters. There can be some kind of a thing that's a little bit familiar, but you are an absolute pure vibration that is none like anyone else in the world. So your voice matters. And what you say matters. So how are you being able to share it? How is it being shut down? Well, this is what started for me as I went into as a massage therapist for many years, a retired massage therapist. I am a certified sound healer, Reiki master, spiritual teacher, and I'm a recording artist. I have had the blessings of being able to work with women for several years in reflecting who they are through their sound and their melody. I also was able to open for Deepak Chopra, Alan Cohen, and bring my singing bowls and tour around, went to centers of spiritual living and unity centers and kirtans and speaking. And that has been a joy, but I was not there. I was not in that place wholly for quite some time. Learning to claim my voice and learning to forgive myself was a journey. But also, that journey happened because my light was being dampened, my voice was being dampened down. What occurred was I was 29 years old and I was divorced with 2 babies. And my parents were saying, we'll be able to help you out, support with babysitting, etc. And that was great. That was wonderful what was happening at the time. What I wasn't prepared, though, for is what would happen with my mother. My mother turned into a bully, a controlling force that was constant at me. It wasn't good enough as a mother, it wasn't good enough with what I was doing work-wise. It wasn't, I wasn't able. It's like, how was I possibly going to be able to take care of these kids on my own? I needed a man. Well, this is her era. And also I'm going to be 65 next month. And I mean, in September. And what it was is my era, you needed to be married because that's how how could you take care of yourself? So I'm being looked at, how could I take care of you, my kids? You need to find somebody to take care of you and these kids. That's what I got from my mother. Well, it happened so much so that's what I did. So I found the husband. And the thing is that he was in just the same position that I was in. So he had a family, he was divorced, he had 2 children, had an abusive father, and push, push, push. So that's what we did. We got married, we found each other, but it was an absolute calamity. We had no business being together because he was unhappy. I mean, I wasn't aware of, he had a hidden drug addiction. He had the abusive father, and there was so much going on within him that it came out on my child, came out on my oldest child. So just as grandma is bullying the oldest child, so is this man. So I'm constantly up against and battling to protect my child and have my voice be heard, and trying to ride these waves of negativity that was just constantly coming at me. So there was a day that we decided to go fishing, and we dropped the kids off at grandma and grandpa's and we went fishing. We actually had a good day, which was unusual. On the way home, we stopped by some friend's house, and I had not had much to eat that day, but the wine flowed. So it hit me really quickly, and I got inebriated really fast. So we stopped by the house, we leave my daughter there and pick my son up and bring us home. And he starts to pick on my son. And so intervene, put my child to bed, went in the kitchen, addressed this, and confronted him about it. And he looked at me and he said, well, why don't you just F off and die? I know it had to be the alcohol, but something within me broke. And I went into the bathroom and I had a bottle of muscle relaxers and a bottle of pain pills, and they were full, and I took both of them. I laid down on the couch and I died. It was about probably 9 o'clock in the evening. It would take a few years before I would recall what happened when I was out of my body. But it was probably 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I remember crashing back down into my body. I heard this angelic voice say, God. I opened my eyes and I smiled and I said, I'm alive. And from that moment on, I started to fight to live. I spent 2 days in ICU. And when I got home, I knew immediately that I had to take my children and leave. As I got my strength back within 30 days, I packed my kids in the car and I took us to my sister's. And from there, we started to heal. My kids were in a safe space. And I found a wonderful therapist through a local domestic violence center. And I started to reclaim my life. one day at a time, 1 month at a time. And then as then it's like as rising back up again out of the ashes, I found the goddess religion. And I spent a wonderful amount of time. I spent 3 years following the wheel of the year, following the moons, dancing around the fire, and having the goddess absolutely remind me of who I am, remind me and wake up every cell in my body. I would then meet a couple of people that she came in for a massage, and she says, "You're coming to dinner." Well, her husband was a yogi and a rolfer, and he says, "Could I try some energy work with you?" Well, my partner was with me, and we said, "Sure." Well, I was, he did the energy work. He just didn't even touch. It was just flowing energy. And what occurred there was it was a spiritual awakening for both of us. And in my massage work, I started being able to see, hear, and feel um, energy, but I was also hearing the sounds and the tones of my clients. And so the last 15 minutes of every massage, I'm wanting to start toning, tone and move energy, and light languages come over these clients. And I thought, this isn't going to happen here in this setting. But there was one woman, I said, "Do you mind if I try something?" Because I thought I was going to burst. That lasting 15 minutes was like, oh my God, I've got to find a way to do something with this. It's happening. She said yes. And when she said yes, everything shifted and changed. I was able to see the energy field where energy needed to be moved. I heard guides, their guides would come in, my guides would come in, and then the light language would start weaving its way through into not only just physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I practiced that for a while. And then I was at a dinner party, and one of the people there, it was his birthday. He says, "Niobe, why don't you do something for him for his birthday? Say, happy birthday or something." And so instead, I went up and I put my hands on his shoulders, and I started sounding and singing, and I discovered that's his soul song. And as I started singing that, I started getting pictures of him through other people's eyes. I started seeing how he is in his world and how he makes a difference just by being him. So one after another of these readings started to happen. And this is where I developed my soul reflection reading. And what is the purpose of a soul reflection reading? When I'm reflecting this, when I'm sending this, and those are receiving the information of the picture that I'm sending to them, it's showing them how they make a difference in the world, as I'm saying, but as the light that they are. It is their soul light, and how important it is to claim that, how important it is to actually believe that you are this spiritual being having a human experience. And the world is different when you're not here. The world would have been tremendously different had I not survived. The world would have been tremendously different for my children had I not survived. Had I not come through, had I not worked on the shame. But this is the first time I'm actually really sharing this publicly, because it is so personal, and it is also such a subject. But I can't not share it now, because since that time, people taking their lives is exponentially off the charts. And what bothers me and hurts even more is our children having their lights tamped down, having them be bullied at school. They're not coming home and telling anybody, or if they do, nothing gets done about it. People and children coming to that place where they think, I can't do anymore, I can't take anymore. I'd rather I'd rather not be here. So it's come to a point where I have a mission, and my mission is that reflection. So, soul reflection, soul challenge, coming to people and saying, this is who you are. I do a melodies of the heart circle, and I go around and I do a short reading on each person, singing their song of their soul in their moment and reflecting to them who they are, because it's so important that you're here doing what you need to do. So if you've got something tapping on your soul right now and saying, there's more, and it's an awakening of you coming into that soul light as essence in action, that is what my work is about. That is what I'm here for. There is nothing more incredible than to see someone go do the work. What is the work? I bring you to your voice. I have you start using your own voice, bringing it through the chakras one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, going into inquiry, going into experience of what's holding me back, because it's in there and it's waiting to be heard. It's waiting to come up to the surface. It's waiting to say, okay, this is it. Do you need it anymore? Do you need me anymore? Can you let it go? But the other thing is your greatness, having your greatness bubble up. And that acceptance of that, that is sometimes more of a challenge. It gives me more of a challenge than accepting what you call, your shadow, your failures, your greatness. You can step into your greatness with your breath, with a breath and a sound plus intention will equal. That formula comes from Dr. Mitchell Gaynor. He's a cancer oncologist in New York. He's in spirit now. But he would bring his patients to his office that after they saw all their other treatment specialists, they would come there and he would sit them down with a quartz crystal singing bowl. He'd also studied, shamanism and other natural forms of medicine. And when he did that with them, he gave them that formula: sound plus intention equals healing. So the sound of your voice plus your intention can equal. What would you like it to equal? Would you like it to release what is holding you back? Sound plus intention. My, plus love equals joy in my life. Can you run joy through your body, through your whole being? You can. And your sound of your voice is that powerful. And it can heal you. It can change your life. So if you are looking for that type of change, if you're looking and ready to go into inquiry, go into challenging of yourself and curiosity, to come into working with your sound and with your voice, I have the free gift is a soul reflection reading, and then I have a VIP gift, which is also a soul challenge reading. The free soul reflection reading is 30 minutes. The other one is an hour together with you. And all my patients, I just came out of another experience to where I was having to use the term patience. Anyway, all my clients you come away with a personal sound practice for you to use for as long as it feels like it is being efficacy, is that it's working. So it is a personal sound practice that to move through your chakras, and it's not like anybody else's. So that is there with every reading that comes. And then if you do desire to work deeper with me, I do have my soul song alchemy. It is a 10-week program to where we deep dive into that sound, into the body, into the chakras, and to clear what's holding me back. And I have two women in mind that their commitment, their courage, their tenacity to go through the program, because they're like, something's got to change. My life has got to change. I'm I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy at work. I'm ready to leave my husband. Something is not working. When I witnessed these women take their voice, and even though there was times I had one, she goes, "It's not working, Niobe. It's just not working." And at one point, I did not know if it was going to work, but she persisted and I persisted, and together the breakthrough she made has been profound.
Your clients are so lucky to have you, Niobe, as
Oh.
our, this is so amazing. Now, we
And
just
it's my time.
time we're gonna
So,
give I'm gonna come in a minute. We're gonna give you a round of angel voice applause. Like,
oh, thank you.
unmute yourselves, everyone.
So,
Wow.
Wow, Niobe, that's
Amazing, Niobe. This is
amazing.
beautiful.
Wonderful.
Beautiful work.
Dimensional
Thank you. Thank
medium.
you.
That
Wow, I'm
you.
so
Beautiful.
grateful you are
you
alive.
So glad
Galactic
you're sharing your gift.
a light.
starving, here to
Change
vibrate
making
our
pioneer
bodies
Thank you for
woman.
being the
Oh my
light.
in
goodness.
harmony.
Great.
So
Love you.
beautiful.
Following your
Thank
calling.
you.
Isn't it wonderful, Nairobi, to see that? We are so glad that you're alive. Thank you for sharing your vulnerable story and your courage. How many of you agree? Hands up if you're like, she transformed that. Like
Yeah.
all of what you've been through, you transformed it. It's so beautiful. I want to make sure everybody knows Niobe's giving you a free 30-minute soul reflection reading. That link is in the comments. And then she's adding to the VIP bonus package 1 hour soul challenge reading. It's $200 value. So you can get that and all the other speaker bonuses. It's just $47. If you're already a VIP, I know that you're very happy. So Niobe, thank you so much for being as part of it.
And thanks for interrupting me. I was on a roll there, Elizabeth. So.
I know, I was like, you got to wrap up, my love. and
Thank
I
you
never
all so
want to
much.
interrupt anybody, but you're incredible. Niobe, one last word of inspiration for our audience, very brief.
One last word of inspiration is you are the light of the world.
Thank you. Somebody write that in the chat. You are the light of the world. And everybody, one more round of applause for Niobe Weaver. You are amazing. And everybody, she's going to be, hold on, before you round of applause her, she's going to be back and she's going to sing for you all in the wrap-up session about half an hour. So stick around because you're going to get to hear beautiful voice. Unmute yourselves. One more round of applause of Angel Voice.
Oh, Niobe, that is
Yay.
woo, thank
Too.
you.
Amazing.
Amazing. You're lovely, lovely.
Wonderful.
Thank you
Beautiful.
for sharing your powerful
Interest.
story.
Big heart.
Brilliant.
It's beautiful. Thanks again, Niobe, for being part of the Women's Spirit Retreat. We're so glad to have you. Oh, everybody, did you love that? Put a word of reflection for Niobe in the comments right now. What do you see in her? And when you do that, you embody it for yourself. You bring it into your own self. So what do you see in her? Divine purpose, light, resilient, courageous, survivor, a bright light, like to turn every single one of you, to turn what you've done, what you've been through into the light for the world. There's like a fork in the road, and some people could go into the darkness and into the shadows, and you all came into the light so that you could be lighthouses for others. How many of you are enjoying our incredible speakers? Just put your hands up. It's so powerful. And what's one takeaway that you have from Niobe? Maybe it's something that you're like, I'm going to do this, or I know I can no longer hide this, or I'm going to go study this thing. Like, what's coming through for you? Maybe there's an aha or a spark for yourself, or something you always want to remind yourself to do, to be. What do you want to remind yourself of? Paula says, that's my next level. Yes. Candace says, accepting the greatness of me. Karine, life is a gift. Camille, soul reflection is necessary. Lisa, you are the light of the world. Virio, to shine my light even fucking brighter. I'm also like saving lives. Right? Lisa, the world would be so different without me. Taya, no more hiding, no more lone wolf. Yes, my life just got brighter. Dawn, shine my light. Jackie, our existence affects others. Like, do you see what's being pulled out when you hear, when you listen to our speakers? There's so much magic that is coming. So stay part of the Women's Spirit Collective. There's a Facebook group. We'll get the link in here. And there's the VIP package that we're going to keep wrapping every single one of you up in the light and courage and the support that's here for you. So I hope that you enjoyed Your Life Matters with Niobe Weaver as much as I did. It was so powerful.